This is my reference line. While explaining the rotating line method, I explain this concept. Okay. Let me show it again. So this is my locus of one end. This is the locus of other end. Similarly on the other view as well. Okay. So let's take that I'm going to fix this particular end. So better I will solve this problem. Okay. So that, should I explain the concept or should I solve this problem? Which one you want?
Sir, explain, please.
Sir, concept, sir.
Concept. Okay. Okay. So first let me tell what is the end projector. Okay. So this is the straight line and you have to take the projection of this. What will happen when you are taking the projection? One projector will trace this end, the other projector will trace this end. Okay. So the end distance between the end projector means the distance between these two projector lines. This is called distance between end projectors. Okay. See, for example, how to see in where to see that in rotating line method. I'll show it. So let's take this is end A dash, and correspondingly this will be my A because I'm fixing the end A, that is the lower end. Okay. So this will be my true length. So this will be my B1 dash. So to get the projection, what I will do, I'll locus of A dash, locus of B dash, locus of A, locus of B. So to get the projection, what I will do, I need to project. If I'm starting from B dash, I need to project a locus of A. So something like this, I'll project. Then I will rotate. If I rotate like this, I will get the front top view. This is the top view. The green color is top. And similarly, I will do the same process. I will project and I will rotate. Okay, so if I do that, I will get the front view as well. Okay, so this will be my B dash and this will be my B. Okay, I hope you are clear till this. Okay, so my point is whether B dash and B will fall in the straight line or what?
No, sir.
No.
Straight line, sir.
Who?
Yes, sir.
No.
Yes, sir. We will follow.
I think Golukumar. Who told no? What is your name?
Yoganand Charans.
What?
Yoganand Charans.
Yoganand, okay. See, both will fall on straight line. B and B dash will fall on straight line. Always this should happen. If it is not falling in the straight line, it means like there is a mistake in your drawing. Always A dash will fall in straight line and B dash will fall in straight line. That means both the ends of the front view and top view will fall on the straight line. Okay. Straight line means something like this. Okay. So here the distance between the end projector means the distance between the projector connecting A dash and B dash. That means this is the distance between end projector. Okay. So if you know this distance, you can use the combination of the other data to solve the problem. Okay. Can you try this? Can you try problem 6? I'll give you 10 minutes. This and send me the snap. Let me see. Okay, so we are going to see two cases. The first one is a plane. So plane or lamina or plate, whatever you call, okay, but it should have only two dimensions, the length and breadth. A plane or lamina is perpendicular to one plane and surface inclination to other. Okay, so this is the first case. The second case is plane or lamina is surface inclination to one plane and the edge inclination to other plane. Okay, so let's start one by one. So can someone like say what is meant by surface inclination and what is meant by edge inclination? What is the difference? Can someone say? What is a surface first?
A plane or something.
Yes, the surface is a plane.
So we how
Sir,
many faces
yes,
a plane has? See, I will introduce three terminologies for planes. The first one is edge or side. So I hope you know what is meant by edge or side. For example, if I have a square, so things connecting two corners. See, for instance, this is a corner and this is a corner and this is another corner and this is another corner. So it has four corners and the line connecting two corners are called edges. Okay, so this is nothing but my edge. Okay, and these four are my corners. Okay, and the surface is nothing but this one. See, whether my screen is visible.
yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
See, I have shown a square laminar here. So this area covers under the four edges. So that is called a surface. Okay. See, for instance, currently I have made a surface inclination with respect to vertical plane. Look at here. So there is some angle. Maybe it is not clearly visible. Now you look at this. I have tilted the plane. The plane is not exactly parallel to the vertical plane. It is at some inclination. So that means the surface of the lamina is inclined at some degree to the vertical plane. Okay. Is it clear? What is surface?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes. In other words, the area covered under the edges or nothing but the surface. Okay. Okay. Now coming to this, in both this case, okay, you try to imagine this. Okay. So the surface inclination, try to imagine this case first. It is perpendicular to one plane and surface inclination to other plane. Okay. So in this particular case, in which view, let's take like a perpendicular to one plane. Let's take this as VP and surface inclination to other plane. Let's take this as HB. Okay. So in that case, so in which view you will see the true shape? Can someone answer this?
Sir, if it is perpendicular to the HB, then we can see the true shape in the front view.
Won't see this length. We won't see
No,
the
sir.
Sir,
We can't see.
One by one, one by one. So someone is saying we can't see. Can you explain why?
Sir, it is inclined with surface inclination with other plane. Then, sir, the front view is less than the surface area, sir.
Okay, so he's trying to say this. Okay, so let's take this as my first quadrant. Okay, so this is my first quadrant. Okay, so let's assume that my plane is something like this. So one end is touching the VP and other end is at some distance in front of VP, something like this. Okay, so this is my rectangular plane. Okay, so when you see from here, what will happen? So you need 4 projectors to take the projection of this because it has 4 corners. So we will be taking the projector of the projection of the corners, which is nothing but the point, and we will take the view. Okay, so if you take from here, what will happen? One projector will trace this corner, so that will be projected here. The other will be taken from here, will get here. So one more will take the projection of this and it will get projected here, and similarly the fourth one will also get projected here. So the 4 projectors will project. Okay, now my question is whether this length, let's take this as A dash and B dash, and the original rectangle is capital A and B. So my A dash B dash will be equal to AB or not, whether it will be equal or not.
No,
So
sir.
that's my question.
no, sir.
No, sir.
Because you will get only
No, sir.
projected length of AB. Am I right? This will not be equal always. Okay, so you will get a smaller or some deformed rectangle as a front view. What about the top view? What you will get in the top view?
On top view, we will get a straight line. Sir.
Straight line. What will be the length of the top view?
AB.
Sir, AB will be the length.
So let's take as AB, small AB, whether AB will be equal to capital AB or not.
Yes, sir. Equal.
It will be equal. Okay, so that means in one view you will see the true length of one side. In other view you will see the shape, but it is not a true shape. So in this case, how to draw the projection for this problem? Because without if we don't know the true shape, so you know the concept, right? The projection of planes, you need to start with the view where the true shape and size is visible, whereas in this case the true shape is not visible in both front view and top view. True shape is not visible in both front view and top view. So in this case, it's not easy to draw the projection without calculations. Okay, but I already told in engineering graphics you should draw and measure, you should not calculate and draw. Okay, so in this case what we need to do is we need to use a method called change of position method. Okay, so we'll be using something called change of position method. Okay, so are you able to understand why we are using change of position method?
Yes, sir.
When the true shape is not visible, then you need to use change of position method. So change of position method has two important stages. One is to draw the simple position. Okay. Simple position is nothing but by making the surface inclination 0. So by making the surface inclination 0, if you draw front view and top view, so then that particular drawing is called simple position. See, for instance, let's take this case as an example. So here the inclination of the surface is say alpha. If you make alpha equal to 0, what will happen?
Will be parallel to VP.
Yeah,
Parallel to VP.
plane will become parallel to VP and perpendicular to.
And perpendicular to HP.
So in this case, you will see the true shape and true size in which view?
Front view.
In
Front view
view.
true shape.
Yeah. So by making the surface inclination 0, you will draw the true shape and you draw the front view and top view. Okay. Next what happen? Then in the second stage, we call that as second position. In second position, we will apply the surface inclination. So my question is, see, for this problem, the surface inclination alpha will be visible in the front view or top view?
In the top view.
Top view, sir.
Yeah. So you need to apply the surface inclination and you need to start with the top view. Okay. So then you need to draw the corresponding front view. Okay. So this is for, so that means when you have only the surface inclination, so this one has two steps. One is draw the simple position and draw the second position. Okay. So for this category of problem, that is, this problem has only surface inclination. It has two steps, simple position and second position. Whereas the second category of the problem, that is, the lamina is surface inclination to one plane and edge inclination to other plane. Okay. So that means it has one more inclination. So for the second category of problem, that is when a problem has edge inclination, then you need to do one more drawing, that is called final position. So there you need to apply edge inclination. Okay, so this is how these two category of problem need to be solved. So these two steps for first category of problem and all the three steps for second category of problem. Okay, so any doubts in this? I'll explain how to draw that. Do you have any doubts in the basics?
No, sir.
No. Okay, let me show.
No, sir.
Okay, so this is the problem I'm going to discuss. Okay, a circular lamina of diameter 40 mm rests with one point on its circumference on HP such that surface is inclined at 45 degree to HP and perpendicular to VP. So draw its projections. Okay, so this is the problem. Let me show the model first. Okay, so in the surface inclination problem and edge inclination problem, so there will be one more important term, that is called resting condition. There will be always some discussions about the resting condition. For example, in this particular problem, you see here, it rests with one point on its circumference. That means in circumference there are multiple points in that one point. It means like what they are trying to say, the plane is resting on HP on circumference. Okay, so that's what they are trying to say. So this is called resting condition. Okay, let's see how to solve this problem. Let me position the plane first. Okay, whether it is audible.
Yes, sir, it is audible.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Sir,
Yes, audible, but no.
Okay, let me ask you a question. So I have questioned the lamina for the given question. So in the front view, what you will see?
A line, sir.
a
Straight
straight line,
line.
sir.
So the length of the
Right.
line is equal to
40 mm.
Diameter.
diameter. Okay, in the top view,
Diameter of the circle. Projection of circles, sir.
whether you will see exact circle or whether you will see deformed shape.
No, sir, a distorted circle. A deformed.
Yeah,
It is
deformed. Yeah, deformed circle. Okay, so if circle, what will happen? So one see, for example, let me consider two axes. See, for circle, both the x dimension and the y dimension is 40. Okay, if you incline in such a way as given in the question, what will happen? See, one dimension will not be disturbed, whereas the other dimension will be disturbed. So what will happen? You will see a kind of ellipse in the top view. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Okay, let's see how to draw that. Okay, I hope you're clear with the concept.
voice is not audible in the video.
Okay, then I will explain. See, so after positioning the plane as per given conditions, you need to remove the surface inclination alpha. So if you remove that, so the plane will become something like this. It will lie on the HP, something like this. Okay. So now if you take a front view, you will see a straight line. And if you take the top view, you will see the true shape of the circle in the top view. Okay. So you need to draw the simple position. So while drawing the simple position, you need to start with the view where the true shape of the lamina is visible. So in this case, you need to start with the top view. Okay. So let me draw the top view first. So I have drawn the top view, and so we need some reference line because in circle we don't have corners, right? We need some reference points. So I'm dividing a circle into some convenient divisions, preferably 8. Okay, so I'm dividing it into 8 divisions, something like this. Okay, so now, so I'm going to draw the front view for this circle. So I need to project from the ends of the lamina, so to get the how to say, the width of the front view. So by doing that, I'll draw the front view, something like this. Then from all the identified imaginary points, I will transfer the how to say, transfer the points to the front view as well. And my question is, in the front view, so which points will be visible? Whether 8 will be visible in the front view?
No, sir.
8, 7, 6?
No, sir.
No. What about 1?
Sir.
Yes, sir.
One
Yes,
will
sir.
be visible.
Okay. So 1 to 5 will be visible. So that means 1 dash, 2 dash, 3, 4 and 5 dashes will come outside, and the remaining 3 points will come in brackets. Okay. So now I drawn the simple question. As I told before, next step is to draw the surface inclination. Okay. So in which view the surface inclination will be visible?
Front view.
Front view. So you need to apply the surface inclination in the front view. Okay. So what you need to do is you need to draw a 45-degree line because it is inclined at 45 degree, right? So you need to draw the 45-degree line, and after that, so you need to measure the length of the front view in simple position and you need to transfer it. Okay. Something like this. You need to measure the distance between 1 dash 5 dash and you need to transfer with the help of compass. Then you need to transfer all the points. So you need to measure the distance between 1 dash to 2 dash and you need to transfer. 1 dash to 3 dash you need to transfer. 1 dash to 4 dash you need to transfer. So likewise we need to transfer all the points here. Okay. So something like that you will get. Okay. So now you need to draw the top view of the final position. So to do that, you need to take the intersection of the circle and this particular front view. So to do that, from this front view, I'll draw the vertical lines, something like this, from all the identified points. And from the circle, from all the points, I'll draw the horizontal line, something like this. Okay. So I'll get something like this. Next, you need to find the intersection point. See, for instance, so this horizontal line passes from, okay, so this horizontal line passes from 0.7, right? So this is the line corresponds to 7. Okay. And similarly, you need to identify, the 0.7 here. So this is corresponds to 0.7, this line. The intersection of these two lines, this point is nothing but my 7, 1. Okay. And similarly, for example, I'll explain one more example. So from here I drawn the horizontal line. So this horizontal line corresponds to 1. And this is my 1 dash. The intersection, this will be my 1 suffix 1. So okay. So I'll draw something like this. Similarly, I will identify all the corresponding points. So if you do that, I'll finally get the points something like this. I'll get all the 8 points. So based on the intersection. So any doubts in identifying the points?
No, sir.
No. So then after identifying the points, we need to sequentially connect the points, something like this. So if you do that, you will get the final top view. Okay. Next, you look at this. So now you can easily verify whether the resting condition is matching or not. See, yes, here they say like it rests on one of its point on HP. You look at here. So this is the point where it rests with HP, right? So look at here. This point corresponds to 1 dash. That means at the resting point there is only 1 point. That means it is resting on one point. Okay. So the corresponding 1 dash is this. So that means this is the point resting on HP. Okay. So finally you need to dimension 2 things. One is the diameter of the circle and the surface inclination. So something like this, the diameter and surface inclination. So this is how you need to solve this problem that has surface inclination and perpendicular to surface inclination to one plane and perpendicular to the other plane. Okay. So any doubts in this? Okay, you need to be clear one thing. See, so first you are going to draw with the view where the true shape is visible. For this particular problem, it is your top view. After drawing the top view, you will draw the front view. And after drawing the front view, you will draw the top view of the final portion. Then you will draw this. So that means from here it will go like this, like this, like this. So it will go something like this. So the top view, from there you will draw the front view. From there you will draw front view of first portion. Then you will draw the top view of first portion. So this is the sequence of drawing. So see, so the link between the simple portion and the final portion is the front views. Okay, is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes. So I'll give you one problem. Can you solve that?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
I'll give you 10 minutes to try to solve this. The mic was muted, so I'm saying it again. So if the distance in front of VP is not given, you can assume suitable distance. Okay.
Okay. 5
Images.
Yes, sir. 5 minutes more, sir. Just.
Okay, okay. Yeah. 30 degree.
Landed the.
What? Deepak. Okay, so there are a few people.
Sir.
One of its edge, okay, but you look at it. See, I'll open your answer and I'll explain. Finally, one corner is touching. So edge means it should have two ends. So look at this final case, it is touching on corner. Are you able to understand?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. The whole edge is touching. So 2 points should touch the HP.
2 points should touch there. In other words, in this place, it should be a corner, not the, it should be a edge, not the corner. Are you getting?
Yes, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Got it. But sir, the question also says the edge is inclined at 30 degree also.
No, you can do that. I will explain, okay?
Okay, so
So even Yohanand, even you made the same mistake. See, finally, one corner is touching, but it should touch on edge, okay? Let's see for others' response. Yeah, Myrtul. So look at this. See, for this Myrtul Tiwari, for this case, it is correct. See, it is touching on one of its edge because in the resting case, it shows like P dash A is touching on HP. So that means it is resting on edge. It is correct. Are you able to get my point? So this one is correct. Mridul, your response is right. Pronounce the name? Midul.
Yes, sir.
Midul. Okay. Midul Tiwari.
Yes, sir.
So this is my reference line. I'll draw only the simple case because I hope everyone is able to draw the final question. Only you are not clear with the simple portion. See here, it shows like one of its edge is on HP. So that means what we need to do is, so the fixed end, So that means you will be fixing one side of the plane and you will be rotating, right? The fixed end should show the edge. See, for example, I'm going to draw the pentagon something like this. Okay. Okay. So let's take this as the edge which is going to rest. So that resting condition, that case should always come in the left hand side while drawing the true shape. So that means here you should draw the edge. Okay, always in the left hand side should satisfy the resting condition in the simple position. If you do that, in the final case it will come automatically. So then you need to draw the pentagon something like this, and correspondingly you need to draw the front view. This corresponds to an edge. Then you need to keep this as fixed and you need to apply surface inclination. If you do that, you will get something like this. Okay. So again, look at here. This corresponds to, say, let's take this as BA. This will be A dash, B dash in bracket, and this will be A dash and B dash in bracket. So that means it is satisfying with the resting condition. Okay. So that is how you need to draw. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
So, but in question, sir, it also says one edge is at an angle of 30 degrees.
No, the sun is inclined at 30, not edge.
So actually, I read the whole sentence as one, sir.
Okay, and actually maybe edge, comma, and the surface is inclined at 30 degree. Okay. But even then, see, you need to understand one thing. If you apply only the edge inclination and not the surface inclination, okay, you applied both the edge inclination 30 and surface inclination 30. Am I right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So even then, your response is not right.
Okay, sir.
Okay. But you cannot apply in this way. I will show in the next class. It is separate. I think there should be a comma. I mean, next topic I will explain that. Here, comma should come. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Now let's move to the next problem. So probably this will be the final problem in the projection of planes. Okay. So this is the problem. So is it visible? Look at this problem. A hexagonal lamina of 25 mm side has one edge on HP. Here the resting case is one edge on HP. So that is the resting condition, one edge on HP, which is 30 degree to VP. So that particular edge is 30 degree inclined to VP. Okay. Draw its projections when the surface inclination is 45 degree to HP. Okay. So this is the second type of problem. So in this one, so the inclination is applied to both the plane. That is, the surface inclination is applied as well as the edge inclination is applied. Okay, and the resting condition is given. Okay, let's see how to draw that. So before that, like maybe I will show one thing. So this maybe I can send this in WhatsApp. Okay, so this can be used to draw the simple position. Okay, so look at this. The simple position front view of the plane surface inclined to VP and having one of its edge on VP. See, one of its edge on VP. So that means, so in the left hand side, the edge should come something like this. Always in all the problem, you look at here, the left hand side, you could see an edge. Whereas if a corner is on HP, then in the left hand side, one corner should come. Okay. So I'll share this images to you. Let's see how to solve this. So you need to remember one thing. So when you are drawing this particular view, so this particular view should not cross the reference line. So that is important. So you need to draw the rectangle such a way that it should fall below the reference line. Are you getting my point? It should not cross the reference line. So that is important. So here the link, I'm saying link, right? The link means, so the dimensions of the front view in the simple position and the front view in the second position is same. Okay, that's what I'm talking, that link. Only the orientation is changing. And similarly, between the second position and the final position, the dimension of the top view will be exactly same, only the orientation will get changed. Okay. See, you need to sequentially connect all the points as per the corresponding top view sequence. That is from A to B, B to C, C to D, E, F, and A. It should go in that sequence. Okay, because you see here the shape is very much distorted. So without the alphabets, it's very hard to find like what is the sequence or in which direction it goes. So that's why always completing the view, you name the points. Okay, and finally you will get something like this. Okay, so you look at here. Okay, now coming to this, you need to check whether the drawing things are correct or not. See, in the question they said like one of its edge is resting on HP. You look at the final position. Say in the front view it is visible. A dash, A1 dash and B1 dash is resting on HP. Okay, so it is satisfying that particular case. Okay. Now finally you need to dimension three things. One is the side of a hexagon, the angle of surface inclination and angle of edge inclination. So something like this, the 30 degree, 45 degree and the side of a hexagon that needs to be drawn. Okay, so any doubts in this? So this is what the projection of planes is about. Okay, so now in today's class, so we have solved two cases. One is a projection of plane which has only surface inclination, and the second case is the projection of planes which has both edge inclination and surface inclination. Okay, I hope you are clear with this. Okay, so with this we are closing the projection of planes. Okay, so we completed projection of points, straight lines and planes. Okay, so 0 dimension, 1 dimension and 2 dimension. Okay, next our objective is to draw the projection of solids. Okay, so that is 3 dimension regular object first, and finally how to say, a practical solid. So that means like which has the combination of multiple solid. So that's our final objective. Okay, so whether this is visible, what is
Yes, sir.
what is this shape name?
Hexagonal dipyramid.
octahedral, sir.
It's not a pyramid, it's called prism. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, prism. Okay, and this is called pyramid, and its base shape is pentagon. It's called pentagonal prism. Am I right? Okay. So let me tell you the terms in this. So in a prism, so you will be having two bases. Okay. So these are called bases. base 1 and base 2. And the next thing is called sides. It has 6 sides. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, it has 6 sides, and it has 6 base edges on both the base. 6 edges on the both the bases. That means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. 6 edges on both the bases, as well as it has few longer edges in the sense, see, for instance, the edges which connects both the base, so these are called longer edges, something like this.
Sir, someone removed me from the meeting.
Giving freedom, you need to utilize it. So it has 2 bases, and in the base it has 6 edges on each base, and after that it has 6 longer edges in the sense the edge that connects the bases. Okay, so these are called longer edges. So why I'm explaining these concepts is like, so in the question sometimes what will happen, they will use these terminologies to define the position of the plane, now position of this particular solid. Okay, so now coming to this prism, so prism will have only one base, and it will have slant edges in the sense the edge connecting the apex and the base, those are called slant edges. Okay, so this is how the things will be discussed. Okay, and it has only one base, and the prism has 2 bases. Okay, let me take one simple problem. See, let me write the problem.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah, tell me. Okay, this is the problem. You just read it once. So read this problem once.
Yes, sir.
So as you told before, like it was not visible. Pyramid. Okay, yeah, hexagonal, so not prism, sorry. Okay, let's start with the prism first. Hexagonal prism. Okay, so hexagonal prism will have 2 bases. So this is base 1, and similar to that it will have one more base, and in the base it will have 6 edges, or you can call that as sides. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Similarly there will be 6 edges. Apart from that, the prism will have faces. So for instance, this is called face, one face. It is called rectangular face in general. And similarly on the circumference it will have 5 more faces. Totally it will have 6 faces. Each face will connect, how to say, the edge of the bases. Okay. And in the face, I mean in the circumference, it will have longer edges. So these are called longer edges. I mark with red color. These are called longer edges. It will have 6 longer edges. Okay. So the resting conditions may be given with respect to any of these terms. See, in this question, they said like one of its base is on HP. It's on HP. So for instance, if I'm taking this as my HP, it is resting on HP. Let's assume this as my BP, okay? And
Excuse me, sir.
yeah, tell me.
Please start the recording, sir.
No. So it is mentioned that it is 10 mm in front of VP. So that means one of its face is parallel. So let's assume that this face is parallel to VP, and the distance between this face and this is 10 mm. Okay. Okay. So here you need to see the true shape of the base. True shape of base. You need to start with the view where the true shape of the base is visible. Okay. And apart from that, there is one more terminology, that is nothing but the axis length, which is nothing but the height of the prism. So the height of the prism is 60 mm. Okay. So let's start the problem. Okay. So I have positioned the prism as per the given question. Okay. So my question is, in which view the true shape of the base will be visible, whether in the front view or top view?
Top view, sir.
Top view. The true shape of the base will be visible. So you need to start with the top view. Okay. So similar to that, you need to draw the reference line X, Y, and it is mentioned that it is 10 mm in front of VP. So this is my VP and this is my HP. So from the reference line, you draw a 10 mm line, and so this face is parallel to VP, right? So this face should be drawn parallel to VP, something like this, and at a 10 mm distance. Then you need to draw the hexagon, something like this. Okay. So look at this. I already told it has 2 bases, right? So I'll erase this. It is disturbing the view. Okay. So I already told it has 2 bases. See, if you see from here in the top view, this base will be visible. One more base will be behind it. Okay. So you, in order to avoid the confusion, you name one base with alphabet. Let's take this as alphabet. C, D, E, and F. And the other base with numericals. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay. If you see from here, then the base named with the alphabet will be visible. So this will be my A dash, B dash, C dash, D dash, E, and F dash. Okay, the base named with the numericals will not be visible. So that need to be mentioned with bracket. 1 dash, 2 dash, 3, 4, 5, and 6 dash. Okay. So any doubts till this?
No, sir.
No, sir.
What about others? So be clear with this, because we will be adding concepts with this as with this as the basic concept. Okay. Okay. Next, you need to draw the front. So to do that, from all the corners, you will be drawing the vertical line, something like this. Both will fall on the straight line. Okay. So here they mentioned that the axis height is 60 mm, right? So from here you need to draw a something like this for a height of 60 mm, something like this you need to draw. Okay. So next you need to give the naming. Okay. I'll add one more question. See, so if you are seeing from here, whether 1A, whether this line will be visible. If you're seeing from here, whether the 1A line will be visible in the front view.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Visible.
6F.
Yes, sir.
Step will be visible. Yes, sir.
5E.
5E will be
Yes, sir.
visible, sir.
4D.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Visible.
Okay. So these 4 lines are visible, right? So what you need to do is, so these 4 lines you need to mark something like this. Okay. So you need to name these alphabets. So this will be my. Okay, see, I made a mistake here. In the top view, I mentioned with the dashes. Actually, it should not be mentioned with dashes in the top.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so that corrected me. Okay, so you correct this. So actually, here it should be like. Okay, my question is whether the alphabet will come in the top, right? Am I right?
Yes, sir. Alphabet will be in the top view.
Top and numerical will be in the bottom. So this will be my A dash, F dash, E dash, and D dash. Okay. My B dash and C dash will not be visible. So that should be in brackets. B dash and C dash will be in brackets. Okay. And similarly, numericals also 1 dash, 6 dash, 5 dash, and 4 dash. That should be outside. And 2 dash and 3 dash should be in brackets. Okay. So this is how you need to name it. Okay. And finally, you need to dimension 3 things as given in the question. One is the in front of distance, that is 10 mm. One side of a base, that is 30 mm. And axis side. Okay, that is 60 mm. Okay. So you need to mention these 3 dimensions. Okay. So any doubts in this?
No, sir.
No. Okay. You see one more problem?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So everything remains same. Only thing is instead of prism, we will see one pentagon. Okay. So let's take this as the pentagon. Okay. So everything remains same. It is resting on HP. Everything remains same because I want to add one more concept in this. So that's why I thought like we'll see one pentagonal prism. Okay. So the true shape will be visible in which view? Top view, right? X and Y.
Yes.
So one base, one of its, as per this question, one of its slant, okay, it's parallel, right? So here instead of face, let's make us one of its slant edge or base edge. One of its base edge is parallel to and 10 mm in front of. Instead of that, let's make this as 100 mm. Okay. So what we need to do is, so from here, draw at 100 mm line, you need to draw one base, that is this base, and over that you need to build the pentagon, something like this. Okay, so I drawn the pentagon. Let's name this as A, B, C, D and E. So I'll use the alphabets A, B, C, D and E. Okay, so now my question is, let's take the apex as O. So whether AO line will be visible in the top view?
Yes, sir, it will be visible, but
Sir, it will be visible.
I'm talking in the top view. So AO line or BO line, whether that will be visible in the top view?
No, sir.
Yeah, sir, they will be visible.
yes, sir, visible, sir.
Visible. Okay. So first you need to identify the O point. So how to identify the O point? It's very simple. So what we need to do is, so see, any two sides you find the midpoint. Okay, from the opposite corner you connect the midpoint, so that will intersect somewhere, right? So that will be the center O. Okay, so once you find the O, then you need to connect all the slant edges, because all the slant edges will be visible in the top view. Something like this, it will be visible. Okay, all the visible. Now coming to the front view. So to draw the front view, from the extreme corners, I'll be drawing a width, and from there I'll be drawing the base. Then, so the axis height is given as 60. So to draw the axis, what you need to do is, from point O, you need to draw a vertical line, something like this. Okay, and in this vertical line, from this point you need to mark 60 mm, and that will be your O dash. And from the extreme corners you need to connect, that is, see, so if you see from here, whether point A will be visible in the front view. If you see from here,
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, from A to D, all the points will be visible.
yeah, A. So then from B you need to make a line, something like this, and from C you make a line. Okay, so A will be visible, B dash will be visible, C dash will be visible, D dash will be visible. What about E dash?
Won't be visible, sir.
No, sir, not visible.
E dash should come in bracket, am I right? Okay, next. So whether all the slant edges will be visible in the front view? I mean,
No, sir, the OE
O
line
dash,
will
E
not
dash
be
won't.
visible.
Just for of them.
it got some struck. I'm not able to move the screen. Just give me a second. Yeah. If you see from the front view, whether OA will be visible. Yeah, so it is very simple. See, to draw the front view, because always you will not be having this model, right? So it's very difficult to think from the model perspective. So it's very simple. You see from here, okay? So you will be some base edges will be visible, right? So from those base edges, the slant edges connecting to the apex, so those edges will be visible. See, for instance, AB is visible, one base edge is visible, right? From AB, there will be two slant edges. Both will be visible. It's very straightforward as it is. Okay. So from the visible base edges, the slant edges connecting the apex, those will be visible. So that means AB is visible. From A, you need to connect the O. So that will be visible. And AO will be visible. Because I can easily explain with this model, but always you will not be having this 3D model, right? So it's very difficult for you to understand. So then OC will be visible because CD base edge is visible. So from there, whatever connects to the apex, that will be visible. And finally, what about OD? Whether it will be visible? It will not, because corner, so that is not visible in the front view, because you mentioned that in bracket, right? So that will not be visible. So EO will also be not visible. When a particular slant edge is not visible, then you need to use hidden line, something like this. So in the types of line, we've seen this line, right? Hidden line. So which shows the features, which shows the features so that are not directly visible. Okay. We need to draw the hidden line. So this OE line. Okay. Because this OE line is just behind the other edges. Okay. So only from the front view, only these edges will be visible. These slant edges will be visible. These three. Okay. So this is how we need to draw the projection of a pyramid. Okay. So any doubts in this?
No, sir.
Okay. So the usage of pencil are similar to the projection of planes. The front view and top view should be drawn with HP pencil and all the construction lines. So something like this. So these lines should be drawn with 2H pencil. Okay. And you need to mention two things as per the given question. One is this distance 100 mm and one base side and axis side. So these three dimensions should be given. Okay. So this is 60, 100, and this is 30. Okay. So with this, I'm closing today's class. If you have any doubts, you can ask.
Sir, once again repeat the use of HB and 2H. It was not.
So the front view and top view should be drawn with HB pencil, and all the construction lines should be drawn with 2H pencil. So the construction line is like these projection lines. These lines to be drawn with 2H pencil.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, tell me.
Sir, will we have any type of Viva or class test
Yeah, we will have in the end.
for end semester?
Yeah, in semester we will have Viva as well as we will have one class test. But we are running short of classes. Maybe one Saturday we will have one class test. Okay.
This Saturday.
So if you are okay with this Saturday, we will have this Saturday.
No, sir, not this.
We will have one end semester Viva examination. So the theme for that Viva is not yet decided. So whether we will have a written Viva or oral Viva, it's not yet. So once it's finalized, I will update.
The classes will be of what type?
Class test will be of drawing. So I'll be giving some 3-4 questions. So let's finalize the class test, okay?
Okay, sir.
So the class test is for 2 hours. Yes, someone's audio is disturbing. Can you mute? Is 20th. Okay. So 20th we'll have a class test, and the class test is for 2 hours. And it will be for 40 marks.
Sir, उस दिन यार confirm sir.
It's finalized. It's on Uh, it's on 20th. 22.
What will be the timing?
What?
The timing, sir.
And timing. I'll tell you everything now. So the class test. So can we start at 11 o'clock? 11 to
Okay, sir.
morning.
Sir.
11 a.m. to 1 p.m. in the morning, and it will be for 40 marks. And I'll give 6 questions. So in that you need to answer 4 questions. Okay. So the syllabus will be till projection of. So okay, we'll take the syllabus till whatever we discussed in this class. Okay. So whatever we discussed
Okay,
till,
sir.
so that is the syllabus till projection of solids. Okay. So any doubts?
What Viva?
So we will be having the Dean Academics will give the timetable for Viva. So we will have that Viva at that time. So during your end semester examination, so they will give the timetable for each subjects. In that, our subject will also come.
So, sir, what type of questions will be asked in Viva, oral Viva? Or something?
Oral Viva, they will ask some basic questions. No, in oral Viva, like there will be 2 people along with me. There will be 1 more faculty. So we will be asking questions to each students individually. If it is a oral Viva, if it is a written Viva, like we will give some multi-choice questions or something like that, and we will also ask to draw some questions. So that's how it works.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Okay. So regarding oral Viva, I will update you. Maybe by next week, I think the scheme will be decided. So I will update you by next week. So for Saturday's class test, this is the pattern. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay, sir.
Saturday 11 to 1 p.m. Okay. Okay. Thank you.
This type of paper we will have to do the test like on the A1 sheet or A4.
Yeah, A1 sheet. A1 sheet. You do it in A1 sheet.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Similar to the assignments, you need to take a full A1 sheet, 1 photo of full A1 sheet, and then each question separately. So you need to take and so similar to assignment, I will create one test assignment. So in that you need to upload the questions. So from 1 to 1:30, I'll give. So the test will be between 11 to 1. So and after that, I'll give additional 30 minutes. That is 1 to 1:30. In that time, you need to upload the question answer sheets. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay. So late submissions will not be considered. I mean, it will be portal will close. Okay. So if you are even late by 1 minute, so I'll not accept the sheet. So it will be between 1 to 1:30. You need to upload the papers. Okay.